Welcome to the Burning Banners, a fantasy wargame for 2 to 6 players in World of Kalar. We shall explore today its first introductory campaign. Mighty Oathborn warriors, that is Dwarfs, will face ferocious Fjordlander riders, that is Vikings, in a bloody battle. All of this in teach and play material, after which you will love this game from the start, just as we did. Enjoy!
Okay, guys, after this very brief intro, let us move to the scenario description and how do we set up the game. So, in essence, the Burning Banners have 4 maps, but usually the initial scenarios are played on one. This is a 1 map, and in essence, the introductory campaign, because this is how we call them, will be played on half of the map. This is the campaign book. In the campaign book, in the index table of contents, we shall see that we have both individual campaigns, 17 of them, and also the chapters, which are part of a great Burning Banners war. What we'll play today will be the invasion of Drefeld. This is introductory campaign and will allow us to get into the world of the Burning Banners. So how does the scenario description looks like and what is this scenario about? We have always here the name of the scenario and whether it's first, second, or maybe introductory campaign scenario. We'll always have invader and resistance. So somebody who is attacking and somebody who is resisting. In this case, we'll have the invaders Fjordland, Fjordland forces, and the defender will be the Oathborn, Dwarfs and Vikings, you can say. You will always have also the turn order stipulated here up to the 6 players, and you will have a duration, start date, end date. Start date, end date will be tracked on the season track. You can see first season, second season, third season, and if when we reach the end of campaign and the season when the end of campaign is active finishes, the game finishes. So it will be turn 1, turn 2, turn 3. On this map, we'll also be showing the activation of both sides, so Oathborn and Fjordland. And when the faction actually activated, finished its turn, we'll be moving them 1 step here down, that way. I really like the description of the scenario. It's introductory, so this is not overly long. Year 565, long ago before the war. Actually, those 2 factions will be allies during the war. This is one of the smaller skirmishes, squabbles between them. The Jarl of Eastern Marches felt that Drefeld should be settled by humans. Ulgor Sundalver, the dwarven king of Drefeld, objected. I love it simply how it's being framed. What else do we have on a map? It shows which on the scenario description. This shows which maps are used. Only the wildlands in this case. This is for the advanced game, and we will be playing solo. Actually, the base game is much more suited for the solo game. There is no hidden information and like spells, blessings, and so on. It says us that the Oathborn setups first. It's starting income is 2, which is marked here. How much gold do they earn per turn? And they start with 6 gold, and they can build during the setups with 6 gold. Also, the control marker is Shade Veil. It is here, Shade Veil. You should see it. For the Fjordland, who set up second, they have income of 4, pretty decent. Opening build up to 15, so they will be able to build the units, and you can see both sides units here up to the 15 gold, and the gold is put here. By the way, yes, we have all, and they have control markers in Norstead and Far Tumit. So Norstead is here, Far Tumit is here. Usually you would have postures of all the settlements on the map, but in this case we have a special rules. First of all, Fort Gorod, here, big fort, which is port and which is also fortified, is hostile to both players. They are simply independent, neutral, and they don't want to be interfered with. And then you have special rules. The only settlements that may be attacked or occupied during the game are neutral, Fort Gorod, Oathborn Control, Zarin Bar, and Shadevale. And you see, this was one thing which I had confusion with when I started to play the game, because I had, okay, Dwarfs have only one control marker, but why they control two settlements? Because this settlement is a loyal settlement to the Dwarfs. You can see here their logo, their flag. So those two settlements are initially controlled by the Dwarfs. Similarly, for Fjordland, here, Fjordland control Barlas on the lake, Norstead, Far Tumet. So, of course, those two have control markers because they were independent neutral settlements. Now they are controlled by those Vikings. And here we have a banner of them. So, Barlas on the lake is a loyal settlement to the Fjordland. So that is why you don't need to put the control marker there. So, Dwarves control here, the Vikings control here, here, and here. What are the victory conditions? Very simple, because this is introductory scenario. So at the end of the autumn season, so the third season, third turn, the player who controls the most settlements wins. In case of a tie, the Oathborn player wins. Because the Oathborn is defending, this completely makes sense for them to be actually winning the ties. What else can I say? I believe that during the play, I will be explaining the rules, for example, movement, map, also the units. It's the best way, from my perspective, to do kind of a teach and play video, which tells you the story and the rules in practice. One thing which will be of enormous assistance to us is a fantastic player aid with detailed turn sequence. And again, red is for advanced game, black is for both advanced and basic game. Actions, free actions, we skip the winter. How the combat is resolved. Also, what are the terrain effects? I really like this player aid because after reading this once, it was pretty straightforward. After reading the rulebook once, it's pretty straightforward to follow everything simply with this. So that will be all. One more thing which is important on the scenario description is this. It says this is for two players. So before we jump to the setup and turn one, let us do a quick pause and let me tell you a little more about both factions which will be fighting each other. So about the Oathborn and Fjordland.
The dwarves are sturdy miners who make their homes in the high mountain peaks. They are mountaineers, as they pay only one movement point to cross mountain hexes. They are also miners, of course, as miner armies will be able to perform mining action to get extra gold. Fierce Fjordlanders are, of course, masters, sailors, and explorers from the north. They have rangers in their armies who can use just one movement point to enter forest hexes and get a light die when defending or fighting there. They are also perfect seafarers, as they can get +2 to their sea movement rating. And also, the sea movement is a free action for them.
Now we know the scenario, we know the factions fighting here. What we'll do now, we'll do the setup and then we will go with the turn one. So for the setup, we have the Oathborn moving as the first and Fjordland moving as a second. So also the setup will be done in that case. How we can set up units? We'll be building the units with this cost of 6 and we will be building them in the settlements or next to the settlements which we control and which are friendly to us, let's say control. There is a lot of rules about hostile, neutral, welcoming, controlled settlements. We will be explaining them as we go. For now, it's enough to remember we have those two settlements we can build inside and next to it. We have 6 gold and I believe we will use all of this, all 6 gold. And what we shall build? My idea is to first of all build 1 unit of Iron Legion and 2 miners. Why can I allow myself to build like this? Let us have a look. here we have the cost of the unit. I hope that you can see it clearly. This is 1 for miners, 1 for miners, 4 for legion, so it's total 6. This is their movement rating, 2, 2, 2. And then you will have also their battle skills, either white or black and white. It simply shows the white die, which is 6-sided, or black die, which is 8-sided. This is called light die. This is heavy die. And during the combat, you roll those dice, and all 5s and 6s are successes. It's much easier to obtain success on the black die, 5, 6, 7, 8, so 50%, than on a white die, which is only 5 and 6, 33%. So as we can see, the Iron Legion is pretty powerful, 2 black dice and 1 white, while the miners have only 1 white die. But as you already know from my introduction of the faction, they can dig and they can mine. And they can mine here, in this mine, and in this mine. So what I will do, I will defend Zarinbar with this Iron Legion, and I will build this miner here, so they can move to this mine, and this miners here, so they can move to this mine and get some money to fuel the war. Now we do the setup of our Viking-like units. They definitely we need to build Ranger because it's one of the special units of them. So I would like to show this to them. We have 15. We have a lot. So what I decided to build is like 3 sea ravers, 1 ranger. It costs 4, but it has special ability range. So in case of a tie, they will be inflicting 1 hit. And we have a very basic unit, 3 boulders. How do we set up them? First of all, we don't want to lose any of our settlements. So Barlas on the lake will get sea ravers. They're pretty powerful. And also, I believe what I will do, I will put 3 holders here to the Norstead. I want them also to secure this. And this will be our attacking force, those 3 guys. I will put rangers in Fartumet and we'll put those guys to adjacent to this, but not adjacent to the Zarinbar. If I would put them here, they could be attacked immediately. So this will be the setup phase for Fjordland. Now, guys, time to move to the turn 1 of Oathborn. Turn 1, Oathborn, so Dwarfs. Let us see the sequence of play. First we'll have an income phase, then we'll have activation phase, and once everybody moved, we'll have some short cleanup phase. In income phase, we have 2 things. Income action steps. There are some kingdoms like Army of the Night, Eastern Empire, Shashka kingdoms, who can actually execute some actions during the income phase. We don't have such factions here, so we skip it. In income phase, the active kingdom gains gold equal to its income level. In our case, the income level for the dwarfs is 2, so they gain 2 money. And now, very important thing in this game. You don't have to spend and build first and then do the actions with your units during the action turn. You can do the action, build action. And there will be rules which will be telling you when you can actually move the unit which you build during the turn and where you cannot. So action phase, activation phase. The active kingdom units become ready at the beginning of a phase, and we can also build the new units now or during the activation of those units. And we activate 1 unit at a time. We do always the move. We can skip this, of course, and then one of the actions, and the actions are pretty straightforward, at least in the base game. Attack adjacent unit or settlement. We can pass, do nothing. We can perform ship movement. That is interesting because after the normal move, you can do the ship movement either through the lake, through the sea, or through the river. You can see on the map, here we have a major river with 4 lines, and here we have minor river, which yeah, it's just a very shallow blue line on the map. So C movement allows you really to move on the far distances. There are rules which are, regulating this. Once we get to them, and I believe we'll get to them at some point in time, we'll move them. One correction, Barlas on the lake is here, so I have the sea raver here, of course. It can be misleading because the name is here, but the actual settlement is here. What other actions we can do? We can recover, so actually rebuild a unit which is hit, and the unit full strength looks like this. Hit with a red banner here. Some of the units have only one step and they are killed immediately. They are fragile units. Worker mine, of course, this is for dwarves, you already know it. This is a very special skill. There are also free actions like place a control marker, doesn't cost anything once you conquer the settlement. You can also place a race marker. Perform ship movement, you already know that Fjordland units can only do it. You can remove a race marker. From a welcoming settlement containing active army, you pay. So you actually repopulate the settlement. You can loot when our army enters a hostile settlement. For example, when we will be entering the settlements of the opponents, we'll be looting them. And we can regenerate special units like trolls, I believe in orcs, can do it. So this is the sequence of play. Now, what we will do, we have finished the income sequence, so now activate unit by unit. What we shall do, let's start with the miners. This miner moves 1, 2, and again, the special ability of the dwarfs is that they move on the mountains 1 movement point, not 2 movement points, as the rest of the units. And as you can see, 2 movement points is exactly what we needed. Then, what we shall do, we will move them like this, showing that they did an action, and the action will be mining. We'll do similar thing with this miner. We can either move directly here because you can always move 1 hex regardless of the movement points cost, unless this is a prohibited terrain, or we can move 1, 2 that way, and also tile them a bit so it shows that they did the action. And we mine the second gold. Now we have 4 gold. And what does it mean? It means that maybe we would like to build something, and we will do it here. So we will spend 4 gold, and I have an idea to build the second Iron Legion. Why not? And now, guys, the build, just like during the setup, is either in the settlement you control or adjacent to this. If you build in the settlement, the unit is ready and you can move him. If you build adjacent, they will be already used, spent after action. So this is only obvious that we will build them here and do the action. And why not try to get this Fort Gorod and explain to you the combat mechanics and also fortifications? I believe that will be a good idea. So we move them 1, 2. The road movement cancels the stream, the major river. And if you do all the moves on the road, you have +1 to the movement. So potentially they can move here. 1, 2, 3. But we don't want to move there. We want to fight with Fort Gorod. Now, how the combat looks like. There is a pretty elaborate combat sequence here. When an army or stack declares an attack action, stacks only in the advanced game, it is resolved during the following sequence. We don't have battle magic, it's advanced rules. We can ambush, but we don't have the units which ambush. There are units here not built which can ambush. So we resolve dice rolls. Both players roll dice equal to their total combat rating. Total combat rating of the Iron Legion is black, black, and white. They are fighting against Fort Gorod. This is a lonely settlement. A settlement has a 1 white die when defending alone without the army. It's kind of a garrison. This is probably how we should call it. And now, what we'll be doing, we'll be checking the number of successes on both rolls and each success cancels each other, yeah, on both sides. And whoever has more hits simply inflicts hits. And in order to conquer the settlement, it's enough to score only one hit. Now, normally the success is 5 or 6, yeah, but this is a fortified city. And fortified city means that we have -1, not city, fortified settlement. Cities with a red star. So fortified settlement means that we have -1 to all our rolls. So in order to roll a success on the white die, we need 6. -1 is 5, yeah. And 5 and 6 is always success. In order to roll a success on the black die, we need 8, 7, or 6, because -1, it will drop to 7, 6, 5. Tough not to crack, but it is really worth it. Remember, who has more settlements in this scenario wins the scenario. And also, if we conquer this scenario, we should have the control over it and additional income. Now, before I roll, one more thing. If I roll 7 or 8, oh, it is here, that means this is a critical hit. And critical hits can be inflicted even with a modification of a fortification. And if I rolled 8 or 7, I can inflict additional hit. I roll then the white die, and if I also have hit here, 5 or 6, this is a confirmed critical hit. So let us roll. This is 6, this is 6, so these are 2 successes but no critical hits. And let's see what Fort Gorod will did. They rolled 0 hits, so that means that we conquered Fort Gorod. What happens then when we conquered a settlement? First thing, when we enter the enemy hostile settlement, is that we loot it. And the looting looks like this. Loot settlement, gain 2 gold. Shashka army, so actually goblins and orcs will have 3 gold. If it would be a city, we would have double the income. So we earned 2 for this. We also put a control marker here because now we control this settlement. And what is more, our income increased because, yeah, we have another settlement which creates the income. And of course, this unit is activated. As for the last unit, I am not sure if I want to do anything. Iron Legion is very happy where they are and probably don't have any kind of action they would like to take. So they will simply pass. Very good turn for the Oathborn, for the Dwarfs. Very big gain here. Pretty nice economy. I saw on the board game geek a lot of discussions about balance of the scenario, and when you look at the starting values of both sides, so like 15 gold for the Fjordland, 6 for the Oathborn, 4 for the Fjordland income, and 2 for the Oathborn, you think, wow, they stand no chance. As you can see, it might not be so easy for the Vikings to conquer them. So guys, let's move to turn 1, but the Fjordland. So we have now turn 1, Fjordland. And we'll start with the income phase. They will have income of 4, pretty decent one. And as the situation on the map shows, they are losing now. They control 3 settlements, while the dwarfs control also 3 settlements. And in case of a draw, they have the advantage. I really know what put the dwarfs like this. We know that they are all spent. It looks nicer, at least from my perspective. They need to start doing something about this situation, because otherwise, if things are not changing, they will lose the game. I believe first thing which we'll do, we'll try to get into the dwarfs' economy. So they will try to hit the miners. This sea river will move here. This is 2 movement points because this is the wilderness, actually hills, one type of a wilderness terrains, and as you can see, it's always +1 to the move here. The defense will be plus white dice. So these are moved because as an action, they will attack the miners. The miners will have one regular white die, but then one for the mountains. And the attacker will have two white and one black. So let's see how this fight goes. This is 6, so this is one hit. This is not overly good roll. My goodness, this backfired totally because these are two hits by the miners. So this is two hits to one hit. Those hits cancel out, so one is left. So the sea ravers are flipped, as you can see. And now this is the cost to build them, 3, and this is the cost to recover them. And you can recover only next to a friendly settlement. So they will be able to do it, but it will be costly. No, this was not what they were planning. Huh? Okay, so now what they will do, they will start attacking the Zarinbar first, those sea rivers. They will be rolling 2 white, 1 black, and the Iron Legion will have 2 black, 1 white. But we have to do it. Okay, so the attacker, if what a poor roll. Very poor roll. Let's see how the Iron Region reacts. This is not a perfect roll. Could be better. This is only one hit, 1-5, but still enough to flip them. But we cannot stop fighting here. We will move here. Sorry, like this. And we'll do attack again. 2 white, 1 black versus 2 black, 1 white. Maybe this time. Better, 2 hits and a critical hit, so 6-8, and we need to re-roll this 8 to see if there's a third hit. Sorry, no, so 2 hits, and now the defender, poor roll, and this might be the end of the dwarves, guys. This might be the end of the dwarves because these are 2 hits, 1 to flip, and the other kills them. They return back here. So what happens now? Those guys enter the settlement. First of all, they loot it. Just a reminder, it gives them 2 loot. So let me just, they have 6 now. And also the control changes. And because control changes, the income here goes down and the income here goes up. I believe this works like that. Yeah, that was powerful. Now, I'm a bit afraid to leave this settlement open, so I will use the rangers to get there. And let me show you how to do it. First of all, we'll do the regular movement. They have moved for 1, 2. Special ability, movement in forest costs them 1, 3. Now, you see they are in the coastal hex, and they can use as an action, they can sail. So ship movement. 1, 2, and they are here already activated. I can tell you this attack on Zarinbar, that was a devastating thing. Was not expecting such a good roll here. Wow, that's something. Now those 3 holders, I would like them 1, 2, 3 here to simply make sure this is well protected. Yeah, and by the way, those guys were of course flipped. Let's not forget it. Do we want to do something else? No, that would be all. So that was the Fjordland first turn. We move to the second turn of the dwarfs. Let me just put the Vikings like this. I prefer it like that. So what will happen now? First of all, we have the income phase. They earn another 2. And they need to think what they would like to do and how to get back the Zarinbar. I believe we have a couple of options. First of all, I will not move those guys and mine here, getting one more for them. Sorry, should be put here. So they had two, now two from the income and one from those, and they are tilted. Now, I'm not sure if I can mine here. I haven't seen anything about not being possible to mine, but one thing which is important is when you are next to the settlement, a hostile settlement, you are besieging it, and for example, you can build there. But there should be not problem with actually, mining. So let me assume I could mine here. So I mine here. I would rather not attack here. They would have 3 white dice and 1 black. So another gold here. So instead of 5, they would have 6. I'm not spending this yet. I'm just checking what would be the best way to act and react to this difficult situation. Now, I will have this Iron Legion. They will use the road movement 1, 2, 3, and they will attack Zarinbar, of course. By the way, this was our controlled settlement. Now, I believe this is a hostile settlement to us. So most probably we'll be able to loot it. I would need to double check the rules, but first let's conquer it. Attacker has 2 black die, the defender 2 white and 1 black. And let's see. This is 7-5. Oh, that's beautiful. These are the 3 hits, and we have a crit to reroll. No. So 3 hits, and now the defenders. They have 0 hits. They are killed. So let me move Sea River here. They enter here. They retook the control. So the income also changes. And I believe this is a loyal settlement. So this is not a hostile settlement. So we don't loot them. Sorry, but yeah, these are our friends. We should not treat them badly. Now, what we have left is a couple of money in our pockets, which I believe we should spend. And how to spend them best? 6 is a lot. 6 is a lot. Where can we build and maybe do something still? Maybe attack somebody. No, we don't have too much. Okay, so we can build some defenses, and I will spend 3. I will build this King's Crossbow. This is a pretty cool unit, as you can see. He is not very fast to movement, but he has ranged ability, so he will be winning ties. And he has black and white die, which is pretty outstanding. He will be here, and actually we can move him 1, 2, 3 to reinforce. And I will build one more such dwarf, King's Crossbowman, here. And do I want to do something with them? No, I'm fine. So let me tilt them like this. And we will now start the turn of Fjordland. Okay, turn 2 Fjordland. After tremendous success and getting the Zarimbar from the dwarves, they unfortunately lost it. And they actually had also some losses inflicted. They have 6 money. In income phase, they get another 4. So they have 10. And I believe they are ready to invest. But before they will invest, let me just move those guys. 1, 2, 3. They will try to attack the miners. We want to disrupt the economy and maybe get here to the settlement. So these are two white die of attacker, one of a defender, but one for the mountains. So attacker, 0 hits, defender, 2 hits. My goodness, those dwarfs are sturdy. They killed them simply, outright. But now we can build some nice units here, and I believe it's time to bring berserkers. Berserkers are very expensive. They cost 4, but they have a really brutal strength. 2 black, 2 white die, 3 movement. So berserker will come here, but before it will happen, and he is ready because he's in the settlement, let me just try to rebuild those guys. So they recover, they will not move, or maybe they will move. Yeah, we might move them because I will move rangers. 1, 2, 3, 4. 1, 2, 3, 4, and they will attack those guys. Again, 2 white to 2 white. Miners. Attacker, ranger first. This is 1 hit, and remember, they win the tide. This is 1 hit. So 1 to 1, normally nothing would happen, but because these are the range, in case of a draw, they inflict 1 hit, so the miners are flipped. I'm still pondering if I could mine here with the enemy adjacent, but as I said, I checked it a couple of times, and there was nothing about this. Okay, what else will happen? I believe those guys will move here and recover for 2 gold. They will move here and recover for 2 gold. Maybe no. First, they will do it anyhow, but first they will attack. So those guys will be recovering here. I don't want this to be empty. So berserker would attack, of course, Zarimbar. So they have 2 black and 2 white. Let's see. They have 1 hit. This is not much. And the Iron Legion, 2 black and 1 white. These are 2 hits. So they win. And those guys are flipped. Really, this is not a best turn and best play by the Fjordland units. End of their second turn, and we are moving to the last third turn. Of course, we should start moving this also here, but it's very short, so and only few factions, so we remember exactly how many moves. Okay, guys, I checked the rule book. There is nothing about mines not being able to be used when they are besieged, and they cannot be besieged. So I believe I was mining correctly here and gaining the money for the dwarfs. Okay, so what the dwarfs will do now, they have a couple of strong units here, and they have income of 3, which is not bad. They need to think about controlling here. The thing is, even this ranger can move 1, 2, 3, 4 and get control of the settlement. Of course, they need to fight with this, and it will be defending, but only with 1 die. So, how to prevent it? First of all, they would like to dig or mine or whatever you call it. They will get 1 of those. And then they will mine here too. And they will have those money. What they will do now? I would like to secure this of those guys We'll move 1, 2, 3, and I want them here controlling this. I will build here for 5 a very sturdy unit. This unit is called, let me show it to you, Oath-takers. Oath-takers are the dwarfs with halberds, very powerful, 2 black, 2 white. So the Oath-taker will be built here, and I love this in this game that during the turn you can do those builds, and they will move. They have 2 movement. I hope they have 3. No, the dwarfs are not the quickest to move. What we can do now? We can there is a possibility to swap places between 2 units when one unit simply moves 1, 2 and is finished, and then this unit has to move. This is very nice to simply swap units in one space. So how does it work? We move this, but we skip the action. We move 1, 2, 3, and then we move this unit 1, 2, 3. And what we want to do, we want to attack this berserker. Why we want to attack them? Because we don't want them to be able to push against Zarinbar as the last thing during the turn. So this will be my plan. So attacker, 2 black, 2 white. Oh my goodness, nothing. Defender, 2 black, 2 white. 3 hits, they are dead. Unfortunately, it didn't work. We still have here Iron Legion. Do we want to attack with them? No, not anymore. We don't have any money. We'll probably have to finish our turn and pray that the Fjordland units will not obliterate us. It's only 3 turns, so of course now Fjordland units will go all in, forgetting about everything and trying to win the victory. Turn 3, Fjordland. Let's see what they can do. They still earn 4, which is very decent, and we don't use it immediately, as you have seen. Doesn't make sense. Excuse me. We will need to do our best to conquer at least 1 settlement, and our best try will be here. So we move here and attack from here with this berserker. 2 black, 2 white against Zarimbar. This is 5 and 6, so these are 2 hits. And now the Iron Legion. This is 1 hit, so they are flipped, but they are still standing. So what else can we do? I think we'll see Ravers will attack the Black Legion. So 2 black, 1 white, attacker 2 white, 1 black. Let's roll. 8, so this is a crit. There is 1 hit, let's see. And this is confirmed. These are 2 hits. Let's see, the defender. Nothing. 0. My goodness. That sealed the scenario. They get here. They loot it again. 2 more gold. They take the control. They change the income. What else can we do here? I believe we should move here and try to get rid of those miners. 2 to 2. This is 1 hit, and defenders. This is 1 hit. On the draw on the tie, they kill. They inflict 1 hit. And then, just for the satisfaction, we can build another berserker here for 6 and try to attack with them. 1, 2, 3. Here, attack here. Attacker 2 black, 2 white. 1 hit, not much. And the defender with a range. 1 hit, which is a crit. Not confirmed. So this is 1-1. Normally it would be a draw, but because they have range attack, they inflicted damage here, and they also attacked. Shall we try once again to get rid of those miners? Let's do it. Miners have 2 white, because of a mountain. Here we have black and 2 whites. So rolling, so this is 1 hit. No, 2 hits. So excuse me, 2 hits. Now the miners were obliterated. So I would say it was not a bad performance from them. Okay, let's do a short summary of the game. This was a very violent game, but I believe pretty decently, even. One thing which backfired at the Dwarfs was this attack by the Oathtaker. Unfortunately, it did not succeed. The losses of both sides were high. The Berserkers are flipped. Some Sea Ravers were doomed also on the battlefield. In the end, the Vikings won 4-2, which is decent victory, which is of course, a very decisive victory, but they were not crushed. They simply won. As you can see, the basic game is pretty fast, pretty quick. I even didn't use too much those sequence of play or seasons display, seasons track, turn track things, because with the two small armies you can do this pretty quickly. In larger scenarios, this will be very important to remember whose turn it is and move it forward. Here it was very quick, very brutal and very violent, and that's exactly what the first introductory scenario was meant for. I hope that you like it. Personally, I'm so thrilled about this game. I see so many small nuances. We haven't even touched them, like flying, like ambushes, like huge units, like siege engines, like moving through the water, so sailing only to some extent. I believe, yeah, there is a lot more to discover. Hope you like it. If so, please give thumbs up. Also, don't hesitate and click this bell and subscribe. That's all for today. We will for sure come back with more of Burning Banners. Definitely one of my favorite games of 2024. Thank you. Bye.